Thinking about doing any kind of remastered edition that's going to include all these lost tracks or bonus stuff?
Yes and no. There's an occasional thing when I go through our library that I'll find that I'm going, whoa, I haven't heard that before. That hasn't been released. And when was that? That was around Rape and Honey. And then I'll figure out why we didn't use it. And I'm like, no, that sucks. Because the rest of the stuff from that period spawned Palehead, Homo DJs, Revco, Lard, Lead into Gold. All that stuff came out of these outtakes. But I actually took some outtakes of what we designated for Lard and put it in for like a verse or something, or even half a verse or a breakdown or something on a Ministry stuff. And we borrowed from each other because I had this vault of gold. It basically, if you're going to record that way, it takes a gatekeeper. And that's basically all I do in the band. Back then I was the gatekeeper.
What were some of the favorite parts of this album that you remember recording?
My favorite part was just, I think after, I can't remember what the first song was, but I just remember that we had so much stuff, and I started just taking these archives, and I was locked alone in a room. I locked myself in and just started tape splicing. And when I got the first one done and I realized the possibilities of it, right then and there was my favorite moment of the whole album. Outside of all the jamming with everyone and all the people coming in and out, and starting in London and Berlin, we had some tracks that were recorded in Berlin and back, and London and back, and Chicago and back, and this and that. But to actually put the first one together, and I can't honestly remember what the first one was, but I just remember feeling like, I think I'm onto something here. And continuing on with that process of just tape splicing and bulk recording. And that was my favorite moment of the whole record. When we started doing Golden Dawn on that record, and it wasn't for that record, once again, it was just a bulk record, but I just remember when I started putting in, and literally back in the day, I literally had to sync two tape machines up like a DJ and release the tape to make Aleister Crowley be in time with the music. Unlike now, it's so easy now, man. These kids have it so easy. Stop and then recalibrate the tapes syncing together and all that shit. But this, I just ran it, and it ran for like 7 minutes in perfect time, like Aleister Crowley was the lead singer of Ministry. And that all worked great, except there was a lot of weird glitches that happened that were unexplainable. Just power outages without a thunderstorm or anything in Chicago at the studio. Events that happened that just kept, like, this song is jinxed, like, don't do this. It was pretty creepy. Like, literally, I realized that on Golden Dawn. That's why my affinity is for that song on that record. Abortive is, just so it's known, Abortive was written by Adrian Sherwood. And I heard it, and I really liked it, but he really liked some of my outtakes. So basically, I traded him 3 songs that were yet unnamed for Abortive and an ounce of whiz, which is amphetamine sulfate, which is in London, was the cocaine of London. You don't see a scene like that anymore. Artists from around the world just like, I'll trade you this for a gram of coke and this and that, or blah, blah, blah. It was crazy back then, man. It was like the Wild West. And the less the record companies knew about it, the better. Like the entire record industry made money in spite of themselves. They did everything they could to kill creativity and art and culture and people buying things in a consumer way of artists. They did everything they could to kill it, and we survived in spite of them. And I'm sure if you talk to like anyone from the grunge movement or any of these other little movements that sprang up all over, they would say the same thing.